Welcome back to Farthest Frontier, and we are in year number 2. So this is the basic village that we set up in the first episode, and yeah, we are currently in a little bit of a predicament in terms of food according to the game, which it would be right about if we weren't at a very low number of population. So actually we're not in a very large predicament because this is going to be perfectly fine. This area down here doesn't really have that much stuff to forage now that I'm looking at it. So this forager hut here might not be the best location. There are far more things up here to forage. But that said, I think we are going to build another forager shack up here. Foraging is going to be fairly important. Now, let's have a look at the fertilities here. Oh, this is perfect. Ish perfect. It means I have to move the industries over here because this is how fertile the land is, and this land certainly is very fertile. Whereas this land, oh, we can also have farms out here. Okay, this is great actually. Can't have here because this is where I plan on having houses, but yeah, the fertility here is pretty nice actually. Now there was one thing that I needed to do. What was that? Oh yeah, I wanted to set these on prioritized so they actually do harvest them as soon as they start carrying fruit. If you can call berries a fruit. I think the game calls them a fruit. We also have enough stone so that we can build a root cellar, and I think we are going to do that now because I'd rather not have our food stores spoil as easily. We also need more stone. There are a couple of them in here, which suits me just fine. And there are a bit more greens down here. Let's send someone down here to explore, actually. Just so we can see what's hiding down here, because if that forager hut can forage more things, we can move the sphere of influence of where you want it to be working. So let's put it like that for now. There's a bird's nest there, though. See if we can capture that. Shan seems to be most interested in foraging greens at the time being, though. You can see this is one of the laborers just running out to see what's out there. But yeah, this really is a beautiful game. That was what first caught my eye when I looked at the game on Steam, and then I purchased it, thinking that if it's bad, I can just refund it. And well, 6 hours later, there was no possibility of refunding anything, and yeah, I was hooked. It is very, very fun. Even playing on pacifist mode, which is my preferred way of playing. Some people might not enjoy that, but I am definitely enjoying it. Okay, so there's just one greens out here. The Hawthorne... I think I'm gonna set this like that then. This is definitely not a permanent forager hut. This one, I want to forage this area. One thing that I haven't seen, which would be very useful, is herbs. Now, there are some up nearby the lake, but... okay, we have some here, good. We do need herbs. It would also be good if we had some medicinal plants, but... especially early on in the game, medicinal plants are pretty important because you can make do for a very long time without a healer if you have medicinal plants. I'm gonna send someone out to explore this way as well. Just in the hopes of finding medicinal plants, because that would be a great addition. I'm also thinking, I'm pausing the game, I'm also thinking we should start building a farm. The sooner the better, really. Now, these deer over here are going to be a little bit of a problem because they are going to want to eat our crops. So we'll want to fence our farms in. But I'm wondering, if we take that storehouse and move it over there, and we take this forager shack and also move that out there, we could start a fenced-in area with some farms here. So I think we'll do that. I'm very happy that the game has this relocate building button. We'll move that, and we'll move that here. That is a bit of an annoyance because that's where I wanted the fishing shack, but I can have another one there. That's fine. We also want to move our industries down here, but I'm not going to move the smokehouse just yet. The question is, can I fit a road there? I can't fit a road there. Can't go out into the water, but... Okay, so if I take that down there and I do this, then I can do that. Remove this again. I don't know if those two will connect, but I think they will. If they won't, then I will build the road out that way. Yeah, I think I am going to have to build the road out that way. Here we go. Just to have it prepared for when the time comes. We have our root cellar ready and done, which I think we're going to turn off the ability to store foods in this storage cart because they will spoil very quickly here compared to inside of the root cellar. And there we go. It would have been nice if there was a unified button for these, but alas, there is not. I need to avoid that. Delete prioritize. Delete prioritize. Okay, now let's go into the walls and roads. And we need some fences here. We can do that. Oh, how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay. So it won't be symmetrical, but that's fine for now. Wait, I'm not sure if I want to do that. Boom, 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 and clear those salvage. Let's see here. Food production, crop field. I think 6x5 is a good start. Yeah. I'm gonna drag the road through here, I think. And let's see. I'll go 6x5, but turn off construction on that. And walls and roads. So 5. It's a little bit annoying that we're going to overwrite those there, but yep, that's what we're going to do. And we... I'm not sure how necessary the gate up there will be, but we'll build one anyways. Like that. And let's turn off the construction on that as too. So they only concentrate on this for the time being. And we can have a final 6x5 field up here, which will also turn on the construction more. turn off the construction on, of course. So that should be fine. Sorry about that. I managed to slam my phone very gently into the microphone boom, but that's probably enough that you guys heard a noise, which I expect was substantial. Let's build the road around this this fence, like so. We might want to... No, we don't have enough laborers at all. Because now we have a lot of farmers. We don't need that many farmers. Jeez. I don't think we can have 8 people working here at once anyways. So the game actually... Yeah, let's just remove these build sites so we get the appropriate number of farmers, because that was a lot. 2, that's more reasonable. And let's up our builders to 5 for the time being. We are going to be depending on foraging, even though this might complete this year. I hope it completes before winter, because they can't do anything with it when we get to these 3 months here. But the thing is, I want to do specific things with the fields when they are done before we start doing anything with them. So the first year, I'm not actually going to grow anything on the fields. But we have 11 months of food stores, even though 7 of those seem to be in danger of spoilage. Not seems fine. Let's move the foraging area a little bit out there. You are still stockpiling greens, but there's not much left for you to stockpile in that regard, so let's move your area up there. And I think we are just going to have to find a completely different location for this guy. Not sure where, though. I can see a green thing up there. Let's send an explorer up there. This is the mountain, yes. Deer sighted, good. Let's continue to explore out here. Oh, this is what I was looking for. I guess this is the lake. But if it is a swamp, that is what I want. Medicinal root's good. So we'll drag the forager and have him over there instead then. It might actually be a better idea to have him go forage out there. But, yeah. Let's mark some more trees for harvesting. And we can speed things up. Or rather, let me just see if there's anything else we need. We definitely are focusing on building the farm right now. Another well might not be a bad idea, but I think I'd like to have the well where the smokehouse is currently. We have enough firewood. I don't feel like going into tannery just yet. More houses would not be a bad idea, to be honest. Let's build that. Now, you don't need roads to build the houses or anything, really. The people in the village will go wherever without roads. The roads are just making it easier for them to walk a little bit faster. And it also makes things look a bit more organized. But you can just build things randomly around here if you want to. Now, by having more houses available, it is a higher chance of getting immigrants to the city, which is exactly what I'm hoping to achieve here. We also want to extend the road out that way, but I don't want to extend the road until we're done here, because I want to move the forager hut a bit out, and then I also want to move the road up 1 tile so that we don't get this one empty tile here beside the house. How much do we have of the various materials? Let's see here. Resources in storage. I would like to look at... Okay. We generally do not have any fish or meat. It's all been processed by the smokehouse. 4 new villagers have immigrated, and a new villager has been born. Excellent. So we have a lot of smoked food in our storage. I think we can safely move this now. Let's relocate it to... I think there. We might be able to build that other fisherman's hut there, actually. Or build it there, not move it there. And then I can just move the influence radius over here. Yeah, this is perfect. This is one of those swamp areas that has medicinal roots, willow, herbs. There's even 2 clay deposits here. Now, I wish these were blueberry bushes, but alas, no such luck. Is there a water source over here? I think there is, but... Or was that down here? I don't remember. Can extend this road, but the thing is yeah, no. Okay, let's move this forager. This is going to be very hard. I can't see anything because of the trees. Let's try that. And harvest that one. We have plenty of stone in storage, so we don't really need to salvage these currently. And the geese are flying off. That kind of attention to detail with the geese flying when it's late autumn is... I really like tiny details like that. They didn't have to do that. They did. The villager has been stricken with dysentery. Yeah, we only have 1 well currently, although it is full. We can't really avoid that, and this is where having medicinal roots would have been a great thing, because it's actually a chance for that villager to die because we do not have medicinal roots, but there's not much I can do about it. 52. I'd like to go in 20s. I don't think we have any medicinal roots. Oh, we do. We have 15 of them. Good. Okay, so the crop rotation stuff, that can be a bit difficult to understand. But it's basically rotating between these 3. So this is this year, this is next year, and then the year after that, and then it pops back to that. So we're going to go into this one and add 3 of the field maintenance. And this is to reduce the weed level and the rockiness, because as you can see, setting farmers to perform field maintenance instead of growing crops provides a chance to reduce weed levels and remove rocks from fields. This isn't too bad of a soil mixture. But the soil mixture is why I wanted to have sand available, because it's usually nearer to clay than sand based on what I've seen. 66% fertility, that isn't what I would call glorious, but it's not bad. So, but we'll get back to this later on. There will be explanations for this when we get to the next stage of this. Now, for now, I'm just going to leave it like this because it's not going to be looking like this. We only need one of these field maintenance within the rotation of 3 years. What I do want to do, however, is set up and start the construction of the next farm so that they do that next year. Build this field so that we have that in place as well. I'm wondering if I should just speed things up to speed 3, otherwise this episode is going to be very short. Some of you might enjoy very short episodes, but 20 minutes is kind of out of what I regularly do. Okay, there is a bunch of things to forage out here, so yeah. We also get lots of willow, which is extremely good. So not much food out here, but there is a... Oh, hello there. I want to move you up there. Harvest, prioritize. I forgot to do that with the first one. Need to remember to do that. That was lucky. I didn't expect to find blueberries down here. As per usually, I'm batch recording, so even though it would be useful to know what you guys think in regards to the episode length and stuff like that, it doesn't really help me because I'm probably going to have like 6 or 7 episodes done by the time I get your feedback on it. However, it would still be useful to know whether or not you guys would prefer episodes that are like 20 to 30 minutes long rather than the 30 to 35 to 40 minutes. That said, every time I've done a poll on that in the past, it's always been overwhelmingly in favor of the 30 to 40 minute style episodes. So, but yeah, do leave a comment on that if you have strong opinions on it. We are now in year 3, which means they can start doing this. They have already started doing the field maintenance. 89% and 45%. These should be dramatically lowered at the end of the year or so. I'll try to remember to check it when we get to early summer. I probably won't remember the numbers. 89, 45. The music is also extremely soothing and relaxing in this game. It's a very relaxing game in general, at least without raiders. That said, based on what I've seen from those I've watched who do play with raiders on, it doesn't seem to be too stressful. It seems to be more annoying than anything else, because the raiders will come in and they'll steal all of your gold or all of your food, and then you have a major crisis going on because of that instead. We have some spoilage here. We might have to build another one, to be honest. We do have plenty of logs and stone. I'm going to prioritize the building of these because I'd like these fences to be complete before, because the deer are definitely going to come paying the fields a visit if given the chance. Why did the gate go there? I must have misclicked when I built it. The gate is supposed to be here. And prioritize, and then we need a fence here, which we're also going to prioritize. An eyedropper tool would have been useful. We also need to pay attention to how much arrows we have, because the hunters actually use up arrows when they hunt. And you might remember that we had 4 bows, now we have 3, so he has taken one of the bows as well. Now there was a deer, yeah, there was a deer sighting out there. So this one is done. Let's move the work area to 190%. That is a lot without... Let's take 210. We are getting a lot of fish out of these. 280 and 210, that's a lot more than I've had in the past. But yeah, I want to continue this road. And I want to build another hunting shack. Or cabin out here. We could also build a forager out here. Although these things are rather short in season. But I think we will, because we are very dependent upon foraging, and at least so that, I mean, people will happily eat one thing. Like, these guys have 1 out of 2 food types. It's a requirement to have 2. The problem with not having... Oh, these guys have 3, actually. The problem with not having more than 1 food type is that usually, since we have such a huge surplus of smoked meat and fish, if they don't get any greens or berries or fruit, they're going to get scurvy due to the lack of vitamin C. So they've actually implemented that into the game. Can we build a market yet? No, we need to build the saw pit. I think we can build the saw pit, to be honest. We have plenty of people. Let's up that to 6. Because I wouldn't mind having the market getting up. So let's build that there, because we can have... No, we can't. I thought we could have 2 of them, but this actually takes 4 in length. This will be the industrial area then. We might have some industry there, but no, that is highly fertile, so I don't think so. We could have a longer field here. Crops ready for assignment. We'll do the same thing here for next year. Now for this one, we actually need to set up next year's rotation here. Ah, we're down to 6239, so that did help quite a bit. Not too much with the rockiness, but the wheat levels were severely reduced. The peas are quite good to grow in the early time of the year, so we are going to have a pea crop at the beginning of the year, and I think that should be followed up by beans, both of which have pretty high resilience towards rockiness. Now the thing with peas is that peas have a high tolerance towards frost, and it's still going to be cold during these 3 months. Whereas the beans are completely and utterly useless when it comes to frost tolerance, but they do have a very high heat tolerance, which is the summer months. And the peas are exactly the opposite. They can't stand heat at all. Now, if you look at the second to last thing in the list there, it says impacts fertility. The peas and the beans are nitrogen-fixing plants, so they actually improve the soil fertility. Whereas, for instance, wheat will impact fertility by -6. These will add 1 to the fertility of the field. Wheat is also completely unusable as a food until we have windmills and bakeries. We are going to be depending upon wheat later on, but for now, wheat is not that useful at all for us. Rye, also the same thing. It cannot be eaten raw. It does require windmills. So what we have of crops that we can do now is beans and peas. So this next year, we are going to grow first peas and then beans. And I think we'll move this a little bit. Give them a month of spare time. In year number 3, turnips also have a pretty decent tolerance towards frost. And they also they are not very dependent upon the fertility. That's the final item in the list over there. You can see that peas only have a 4 out of 10 fertility dependence. Beans and turnips are at 6. Carrots are also at 6. Whereas wheat is at 7. No, I mean rye is at 7. Wheat is at 10. We can also grow flax. That is obviously not edible, but it is useful later on to make linen clothes. We can grow buckwheat. Another one of those crops that does require windmills. So these 3 are not useful at all for the time being. I also think that the size of these is corresponding to the size they have when you put them in here. Then we have vegetables. We have cabbage. Cabbage does impact fertility by -4, but has extremely high tolerance towards both frost, heat, rocks, but not that good of a suppression when it comes to weeds. But then again, neither does peas nor beans. I think turnips, no. Huh. It's only buckwheat and rye that has a higher degree of wheat suppression. Well, clover too, but clover isn't an edible food source. Leeks, those could be useful. They have a high tolerance towards rockiness, but I think they spoil very, very quickly. But so does cabbage. But this is 1, 2 plus. So if we have cabbage there, yeah, that's fine. And then we can have clover in the end of the year. Clover will impact fertility by 3, so that's 3, 4, 5. And then the cabbage will remove 4 of that, so that is a net plus. And then we'll see what we'll do with this as the final. So we are in this year. So this year here we want to have peas and beans. Okay, I'll turn on the game again. Now there's no reason not to start building another field immediately, actually. 6 by 5, good. That is another thing. The farmers, this one says assigned workers 2 out of 2. However, that is a very distinct difference in this game if you compare it to, for instance, say, Banished. The farmers are a pool of workers, just like laborers. So with 3 fields, we should now have 6 farmers. And indeed we do. Now the thing with having 6 farmers is that they are actually shared between all of the fields. So you can see there are 6 farmers working on this field now to prepare it for growing crops. And another building that we will have later on is the apiary. And the apiaries are also using farmers for servicing those buildings. That will also be taking out workers of the farmer pool. So it's kind of like the laborers, just there's a different pool of workers. So that is a thing that is very useful to know about the game. I think that was one of these blueberry bushes. Yeah, this one. I didn't set it to harvest and prioritize. This one, okay, so it actually removed that when I moved them. Good thing I checked them. Good. They might actually finish this year. Depends on how much food and stuff they have. We have a year of food in storage. Yeah, we are going to need another root cellar. I might build that mirrored. Or I might not build it mirrored. 3 new villagers immigrated and another one was born. Let's have a quick look at our foragers. Foraging nuts. You're stockpiling greens. And you are also stockpiling greens. Good. We don't need a forager out here. There's nothing to forage. Well, there is the hawthorn, but in times of desperation, hawthorn berries are one of the last remaining food sources for settler. The interesting part about that is that when you've actually stored the food, the hawthorn berries goes under berries. So it's not like there's a separate location or separate category for the hawthorn berries. So I'm not sure how relevant that actually is. They might be perfectly good food sources and sources for vitamin C, for all I know. And as a matter of fact, as long as there are a couple of hawthorn bushes along, since they do ripen during the late season, just to make sure we have a source of vitamin C for our villagers, let's just set up a few of these to be harvested and prioritized so that they actually go and harvest them. There we go. We can speed it back up. Now, I don't plan on doing anything specific for the rest of the year, so I think we can end the episode here. The crops are ready for assignment. That's fine. I'll do the usual here. Just do that, and we'll look at the assignment of the crops, the actual crops, next year. But what I think I'll do is I'll just let the year run out, and then the next episode will start in year 4 in the early spring, where we will probably going to have to extend our homes, get another root cellar, and then also start having a look at some of the basic production facilities for our villagers. We also need to build some more wells around the city, and we might also look into things like baskets. We do need a Fletcher very soon. Cobbler, tannery, compost yard, yeah. But we'll have a look at that in the next episode. For now, thank you also very much for joining me. If you have any questions and or comments, then please do feel free to leave those in the comment section as per usual. And I'll see you all next time.